Welcome to the Trackfellaz Podcast, where we talk all things track and field. I am your host, Herb Nichols, along with Daryl Young and Jason Carson Harris. 2025 has been filled with records, controversy, new leagues, and today we're going to touch on something new in this sport that is kind of getting some flack on both sides. It's that new endurance league. So let's go ahead and start. It was created a while ago, right? And the whole idea was to see how far the human body can be pushed through technology and science, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is to have these athletes use performance enhancing drugs and kind of push the limit on the records in their respective sports. So the first thing is, what do y'all think about that in terms of if we just focus on the track and field part? How do y'all feel about this new way of kind of introducing the sport?
Take the lead. Look at me. It's nail biting. Like it's to me, it's I'm like 50-50 with it because I do want to see records be taken down. You know what I'm saying? I want to see fast times and whatnot, but also I don't want it to be at the risk of someone possibly losing their life. You know what I'm saying? Because you putting that stuff on top of your body, it's risky. You know what I'm saying? It's risky. I mean, I do like I said, I'm 50-50, man. Like, because the folks that actually are signing up for it, example, Fred Curley, that's the individual that announced it, or I don't know if anybody else did, but I want to see Fred, what I mean? I do want to see him do what he's has set out to do. He's made it publicly known that he wants to break the world record in the 4 and break the world record in the 2 and also in the 1. But I don't want to see it him also lose his life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't want that for him. But I also do want to see him break those records. You know what I mean? So I'm torn, man. I'm torn, bro. I want to see these fast times, but I just don't want to see somebody go out there potentially harm themselves while trying to achieve those goals.
Yeah. Number one, it's enhanced league. I think I said endurance.
Yeah.
But yeah, enhanced league.
Yeah,
But
enhanced game.
I'm on the fence as well because part of me, like the human in me, kind of wants to see how far the human body can go, right? And to see a human go 8 seconds in 100 would be absolutely crazy to me, using technology and science. And going on the website, first you have to apply for it, and then they actually give you a physical, and you have to be physically fit in order to even be a part of this league in the first place. And then throughout the competitions, from what I read, you're going to constantly be monitored by scientists and doctors throughout. So I think the safety aspect is nothing really to worry about per se. But for me, the negative side is that track and field is a sport where spectators have to trust the athletes. And if they don't trust us to be clean and to run certain times in a manner in which, it's fair, then you kind of lose trust in the sport overall. So if Fred comes out there and he runs 9.3, right, with all this science and technology, it kind of takes away from all the regular guys who's running it, without these PEDs and stuff. So I'm on the fence. I'm not sure if it's really going to be beneficial to this sport at all. I really don't like it. But then on the other hand, I'm kind of curious to see the performances when it comes to purposely putting PEDs in someone's body.
I think your last point brought it home. Curiosity is what is the reason for this, and the people who start the league and the scientists who are investing their time and effort and brains into it are curious. But I think curiosity kills a cat. I'm totally about that phrase, and not against you guys, but my standpoint, I don't like it at all. Records are meant to be broken. Absolutely, I want to see records broken, and they happen all the time. A lot less frequently now, as we're the training patterns and the things that athletes are doing at this point It's harder to break records, especially we're looking at the 100-meter record, which I don't think can be broken in my lifetime by a natural athlete.
Right.
But to actually have to, go through physical tests, take physically enhancing drugs to try to break records, it just doesn't sit right with me. And speaking about Fred Curley, and we'll probably go into him a lot more in depth. His whole motivation, I think, for this is the fact that he couldn't keep up with the standards and regulations that the athletics has for track and field athletes. He basically was suspended and didn't compete in the world championships because he didn't keep up with his whereabouts for his physicals and whatnot. So, that part of it, I think, is for him. I think I heard an interview with him saying that he was just sick of the fact that, you have to say where you are 24/7. You have to, take these random physicals, take these random drug tests and make sure you're not, doing anything like PDs. And now he's to a point where he's like, I'm fed up with it. And I can go make more money, potentially more money, by breaking a record in a different league that, again, I'm not sure that will be successful. I'm not sure where they'll get their fan base from, but I'm not a huge fan of it at this point.
Yeah. And I saw that there's another track guy who signed up for it.
Muhammadu,
Yeah.
I
He
think
he
the
signed
200
up
meter
for it.
guy. Same situation with him. He suspended for 18 months for missing a whereabout situation. So, what do you do?
Yeah. I think at the end of the day,
Go get
presenting
drugged
these
up.
oh, I mean, but somebody presenting these guys with a bag
No question.
and persuaded them to continue on to this enhanced uh track. So, the money is going to change people's perception of if it's okay or not as well. And I think we're going to see more athletes do it, because of the money. But, like Jason said, I mean, it doesn't really sit right with me. I'm not sure if that's going to be something that's sustainable in the future. Now, again, curiosity does bring in views, so people are going to want to see how low the 100-meter dash can go with
Can I ask a question
this
though?
superhuman person. Now go ahead.
Can I ask a question real quick? If presented the opportunity, would y'all do something like that? Because I'll go first. I've said this years ago. I always said, like, obviously all three of us, we, compete at a high level, you know what I'm saying? At least to the collegiate level and whatnot. I always said, like, post, collegiate, like, competition, for at least one competition, I would, like, roid up for a year and train. Just train, roid it up, with PEDs all in my system, and just give it my all on the floor just one time. Just to see how fast I could go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to see how fast I could go. And then this
I
opportunity to,
mean,
like, actually, like,
that's
present
essentially anybody who has ever taken PEDs, that's their mindset. They're like,
sign
you
me
know
up.
what?
I'm a fan. I'm still
I just
50/50, but
want to
I'm a
see how
fan.
fast I
Like,
go.
I would do it, but I'm just asking y'all, would y'all actually, like, you know what I mean? Would y'all, like, if the opportunity presented itself, would y'all actually, like, you know what I mean? Would y'all sign up?
I'm
Are you
curious to
talking
hear your
about
answer, Herb.
when we was actually competing or?
Yeah.
Oh no, we were competing. Like, no, not now, not now. Not now.
So for me, and I don't know if Jason's about to say something, but for me, I think because money does mean something to me, if somebody did present a money opportunity, I feel like where I am, or at least was in life, I would have to take the opportunity, right? But in terms of saying yes or no right now, I would have to say no, only because I would want that 400-meter time to count. And I would want to be able to, like, I just ran 43 seconds and
Mhm.
be able to represent my country. I can't do that with any results that you're going to have with the enhanced formula is not going to count towards anything. It's just going to be, hey, Fred just ran 9.3. And that's it. Like, it doesn't go down in the record books, maybe Guinness Book of World Records, but it doesn't really count towards anything. So, like, I kind of want my stuff to be counted towards something.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. For me.
So my answer is very similar to Herb's. If the money aspect definitely plays a huge factor. But again, there's definitely like a ethics thing. I think that just lives with me. And I've actually seen collegiate athletes take PDs while in our lifetime while we were competing. And it never sit right with me. Every sport that I can think of, there's a certain amount of effort and time and dedication you have to put into it to make it to each of the levels. Um, that we've seen. I hear the statistics now all the time that 1% of high school athletes compete in college. 1% of collegiate athletes make it to the pros. So to be a part of that 1% means a lot. Now if you give PEDs to everybody, how does that kind of shape the landscape of sports? Now is it, since we have some people, everyone can take them, and now it's quote unquote legal to a certain extent. It just kind of messes with the metrics. So short answer is no. I think I would just continue with the efforts and all things that I did to make it to where I'm, achieved. But if money were involved, as Herb said, just to benefit myself and my family, maybe something to consider.
Man, I'm out there running 40.
Again, man, I mean, you can't tell me that you're not curious to see how fast somebody can go, regardless of if it's clean or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Curiosity for sure.
that part I absolutely would want to see. I don't want the integrity of this sport to go with that, because it's already hard. And we're about to talk about the Grand Slam League. I mean, and how they didn't really receive the viewership like they expected, so you can only imagine if something like the enhanced games happen, are they going to steal some of the views from, the views of the sport already? I mean, I don't know, and when we're talking about Fred, Fred is probably one of the most unique athletes I've ever seen in my life. A guy who ran one of the fastest times in the history of the world in the 400, was a 400-meter NCAA champion, but he ended up being a world champion in the 100-meter dash.
Yeah.
So, and he was never really consistent, when it comes to the 100-meter dash. I know he wanted to really focus on that, but we all know he should have been running the 400 in the first place.
Yeah, like don't get me started. Do not get me started.
That could be a whole episode by itself.
That's a whole pod episode right there. But don't get me started.
And let's not talk about the tar he's throwing at Noah Lyles for no reason, and he never beat that man. So I don't even know why he even wanted to bring his name up. But Fred is just, it doesn't surprise me that Fred wanted to go this route. He's I don't want to sound negative towards him, but he's kind of a weird guy. So
no, it's not. That's a fair statement. It's like just like how everybody looks at Noah, like, oh, he's a weird guy. Like, he talks he talks. Sorry, I can cuss on here, right?
Absolutely.
No, Noah talks his shit because he earned that right to talk his shit. You know what I mean? Like Fred is kind of weird talking shit about Noah. You gotta beat the man to beat the man, bro. Like, I mean, like you can't sit there and say like, oh no, he's not me, blah blah. I'm not, he's not built like me. Like that's my Fred impersonation with that. But like, nah, bro, you can't do that. I'm like, nah, like nah. I'm sorry, I went left field and went on a tangent, but like, no, you can't do that, bro. Like, nah.
You're right. Your point is extremely valid. Does this any point, him making this decision, lead you to believe that he was taking PEDs before? And only reason I bring that up, and I don't want to take anything away from Fred because he has achieved a lot, but I was looking at his history up, and Herb, you can probably look at it. You can probably tell me this as well. I was looking at from the time he was in college, junior college, to go to the NCAAs, and he was running like 45 consistently. Then all of a sudden, boom, he runs like 40, 44 flat, and then, makes it to world championships and everything. But like you say, it was never consistent. But he definitely, to me, kind of came out of nowhere from college. And then now he's this, acclaimed athlete with all these accolades and whatnot.
I mean, Fred was one of my favorite athletes because I felt like he was a guy who, and I'm biased to the 400-meter dash anyways, but he was such a strong runner. And especially on that last 100, I mean, he's just super strong. That's the strength of his race. I would rather for him to have jumped back to the 400, use that 100-meter speed in that 400. And I felt like it was wide open at the time.
I thought that's what he was going to do. Like, I thought he was like, running the 1 and 2, you know what I'm saying? Like, more so the 1, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, for foot speed, you know what I'm saying? Even though he took it to a world lead type, like, you know what I'm saying, world championship type time or whatnot. I thought he was going to use that to, like, help his 400 time and help him get to that. You know what I mean? What he wanted to achieve was the world record. Cause y'all remember he was like posting like online, like
you know
what I'm saying, like he's going to break the world record in you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
in the 400. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought he was going to use that to like
He could
go
have
back.
already signed up for that enhanced stuff before, before he even posted all that and everything, knowing Fred.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Whenever it starts, I'm probably going to pay attention initially, but I feel like it's going to get old after a while. For me, I don't think I'm gonna really invest too much time into watching that type of stuff.
I don't even know how long it's going to last for real. Like, how long y'all think that type of thing's going to last? You know what I mean?
I mean,
They
if you
don't
think
give you
about it,
much information.
they have several sports though, right? So people are going to want to see swimming. There's a weightlifter in there. Like imagine a weightlifter in there bench pressing 2 tons or something. Like that's gonna be crazy for people to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think people are going to watch it, but when you just specifically talk about track and field, people already don't trust these guys. Anytime somebody runs something fast, it's, oh man, they must be on PEDs.
Mm-hmm.
I heard on a forum not too long ago, people were talking about Melissa Jefferson.
Dang.
And, and how she came out of nowhere and now she's running 10.6. People don't believe anything anymore. So imagine what these games are going to do.
I hate having the conversation with people about track, period. I think we all had that same feeling. Because I'm going to take this page out of Floyd Mayweather's book. Floyd Mayweather, obviously everybody knows Floyd Mayweather. His famous statement is, most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. When people, I talk stuff about, I talk about track with people and they start talking nonsense, I had that in the back of my head. Most motherfuckers don't know shit about track and field.
Mm.
Y'all, seriously, y'all gonna sit here and tell me Melissa Jefferson is on roids? Really? Y'all see her build? Y'all see how frail this woman is, Joe? For real?
And look how young she is.
And she's young. She's damn near a child. Like, come on, bro.
Felt like it was just a natural buildup.
How come she can't just be good at her craft? How come she just can't be a student of the game and just know how to train and perform and does everything she needs to do to be where she is now? Why she got to be on roids?
And then under the same breath, nobody talks about, I'm not even going to say the country that they're from, but all these women who are in their 30s
still getting
running world record pace times. That's outrageous to me. But I never question anything because I love the sport. I feel like with all these, WADA regulations and stuff, I feel like it is harder to dope nowadays. Whatever. That's why we see so many whereabout failures, because people are trying to, for the most part, they're trying to avoid, testing, and, some of them are valid where it's like they're getting they're visiting Paris on their off time and getting a notification where, hey, look, you got to meet us here for a test or whatever. And they're not getting the notification in time and stuff. I get that. In my interview with Phil, I didn't understand how things happen until I looked into his issue and stuff. And I felt bad for the guy. It made it harder for him to survive in this field because of stuff like that when he was actually absolutely innocent,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, people like that, it's just, people are going to believe what they're going to believe. That's why this sport has to be able to be transparent, and they have to have people like Usain. Like, imagine Usain Bolt. You remember in the 100-meter dash? I forget what year it was the fastest 100-meter final in the history of the world. Maybe one of you guys remember what year it was. But anyways, Tyson Gay, Safa Powell, all those guys were in the heat. And every single last one of those guys,
world championship,
except for Usain Bolt, is a positive at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if Usain Bolt tested positive. Nobody would believe anything anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
And so people like that, that's how I felt when Tyson Gay tested positive. It kind of broke my heart. He was one of my favorite guys. I watched this guy run 19.6 in real life. And I was like, hey, this man right here is amazing. And he still is. But for him to test positive, it takes away from some of the, he was like a superhero, kind of took away from that a little bit, So, I mean, imagine if Usain Bolt tested positive for anything.
Yeah.
That would cripple the sport.
Oh,
that would kind of be like how in cycling, um, what's buddy name?
Lance Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong.
Yep, 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 yep.
Nobody watches the Tour de France anymore,
Nah.
but they were tuned in when this man was out there.
Yeah.
And Usain Bolt, if he tested positive, that would ruin the sport, completely ruin the sport.
Yeah.
So, to go back to our original point, I mean, we have to the viewers, the supporters have to believe in the athletes, and that's why the enhanced games I think is going to be more of a negative than a positive for this sport currently. You know,
I remember that race you're talking about too. It was like I felt so bad for Tyson Gay because he that was his PR. Gosh,
it still stands though. His PR stands.
it was 100 meters and he ran like what?
I think it was like 969. I think,
9.6.
if I'm not mistaken.
He ran his fastest, and his fastest was not good enough. Like I felt so bad for him, Like because the second part of that, his top end speed was unmatched. We unmatched in that race because he was like actually chasing Usain down. Like he was like catching up.
Yeah,
It just wasn't good enough. And I just felt so bad for him, because that was like what he trained for. That was his best. He gave his absolute all,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
like times 10, and just couldn't beat that man. And he just what Leroy said what takes a little more.
Yeah. Well, and transitioning straight from that to the next topic, the Grand Slam League. First and foremost, the Grand Slam League was a league created by the legend Michael Johnson. And
That's
this
right.
league was really supposed to be for the athletes. And it was just another platform to make money, to display your talent, and to kind of expand the sport. Every single athlete have been asking for this type of format. Every athlete. And I think they have it. They had this league was going to span 4 places. I think Jamaica, Atlanta,
New York, I think? Yeah, it was
and
it then.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
There was
that's
canceled
another.
right.
LA.
There's a fourth area, but
They canceled LA joint.
yeah. So they were going to use these 4 locations, and they were going to have this league or have the league at these 4 locations. And the format was you had, and I should have been doing my homework, whatever, but they have athletes who are signed to the league, and then you have athletes who are not signed to the league, but they're competing to get a contract for the following season.
Mm.
And every victory, you get a paycheck for it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought personally, this is an amazing platform to have and everything. And the competitions was pretty good, and it led up to the last event and ultimately controversy in which some of the athletes were not paid. I guess initially when the league first kind of was created, kind of curious on what you guys thought about the league when it first got created. Like when you guys first heard about the Michael Johnson creating this league and everything.
I was excited primarily because of the athletes he was able to sign onto it. We all know he didn't get Noah, and that would be another topic we can kind of touch on. But he basically got every other major athlete in almost every event. That's the other part too. It didn't just span from just getting the fastest man and fastest woman in the 100, but he got 1,500-meter runners. He got long jumpers. So it was a packed field across all of the disciplines. Like you said, it's something that athletes have been asking for. I mean, we only see track for the average casual fan, you see track once every 4 years. If you're a little more in depth to track, you may watch the world championships that come every 2 years. You may watch the, Diamond League, but you got to search around on different channels to watch. You may catch it on YouTube. If you watch the NCAAs, that may be shown here and there on YouTube as well. But the average casual fan only sees it once every 4 years. And this was an opportunity for a casual fan to watch track on your local network and see the world class athletes compete at a high class level. So that part of it to me was exciting.
Yeah, I liked it. Just the fact that I could see like more track and field. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't have to wait till, and this is from the fan perspective. I didn't have to wait till like a major event, world championships, or like pre classic or something like that, or had to hop on YouTube once a month for like a Diamond League event or something like that. Like we got to see track like in consistently. You know what I mean? And it was it was good competition because the money was an incentive. So you had the best of the best, like actually out there competing early in the
Yeah.
season too. Like, you had what? I ain't gonna throw no names out there, but like you had like the top dogs out there performing in like April. You know what I'm saying? Like when normally they'd be performing at peak level. We see them performing at peak level at like, I don't know,
July.
June, July, something like that. So I mean, I think it was a win-win at first for the athletes and for the spectators as well. But unfortunately, it just it just didn't pan out to be.
Well,
You know,
so my opinion on it, I think it was a win-win from start to finish, right? And I think my perspective is coming from what this league was supposed to be for. And I think when people look at it, they're only thinking, man, these athletes didn't get paid, right? But Michael Johnson set up a platform, and I said this before, athletes were asking for this. This is not something that he created because, oh yeah, I just want to create. No, athletes have been asking for a platform where they have more control and they have more opportunities to get paid. There's very few opportunities to get paid in track and field, right? You get paid for your name, and everybody doesn't have a name. Noah can write his price on a piece of paper and hand to whatever track meet and say, hey, I want to get paid this at this track meet. Everybody can't do that. This track meet, this league, gave you more of a avenue to get paid through these leagues. Another thing was Michael Johnson had investors who actually said, hey, we're going to invest in your sport. Well, at the end of the league, some of those investors backed out.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Michael Johnson's fault. And I felt bad for him because, he is the creator of this league. He's the head of this league. And now when you take away some of your investors who's supposed to pay you, now he's sitting there like, sorry, I apologize. We don't have your money right now. That's not his fault, and the reason for them backing out is what? Low views, and people wasn't packing the stands.
Yep.
So like it's when I say it's a win-win, the league started and finished how it was supposed to, as far as the actual how they were going to kind of construct this league in the first place. It happened exactly how he wanted it, but there was no viewers, and people just didn't show up to the track meets. That's on the viewers. That's on the supporters of the sport. Is for us to come out, and I feel bad I didn't show up to none of them. And I wish I would have. So I have a little more backbone to talk about when it comes to this type of stuff, whatever. But when you have investors and they just don't believe in the product, then they backed out. Luckily, he did have an emergency kind of investor to give him this money to pay a majority of the athletes, whatever. But the question now is it going to be sustainable for the future? And I think it should be. Because again, this is what the athletes want. Track and field doesn't give you that many opportunities. You either win races and build a name, and that's when you're really going to have the high price money, whatever. If you don't have those type of things, then it's really no money into it. So this league gave you opportunity for every single thing, every one of those things. I mean, this league also had Melissa was running in this league, and other athletes was running in this league, where it's like, okay, well, it's credible because people are running. So we should follow it. The last thing I wanted to say was there was a couple negatives I can see about this league. Not so much negatives that people should hate, but if you think about it, you have to sign up to run a certain amount of track meets for the league. So some people's trainings doesn't require that many races. When you sign up for this, you have to run a certain amount of races. So, how does that affect athletes' trainings and stuff when it comes, especially what if it's championship season? That's going to affect how many times that you actually want to run. Or what if it's off season? Okay, cool, but how does it really affect you on how to run? Like these people have to run, a certain amount of track meets, weekly, or I'm sorry, like bi-weekly or whatever. So, I'm curious to see if that's sustainable as far as the format. But I think the league in total is a great league to have.
I'm glad you mentioned that as far as like training for something like that. You know what I mean? Because it just got announced that USA Track and Field, they're like starting their own league as well.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like something similar to Grand Slam track. But as far as the training is concerned, like I'll take Our hometown guy, Quincy Wilson, high school phenom. You know what I mean? We ain't got to say nothing about his resume. We all know he's that dude. You know what I mean? The amount of races that are run from like indoor to outdoor to like, professional season, it's a lot. It is a lot. We all three of us, we know that. You know what I mean? So those professional athletes, those that are participating or signing up for, you know what I mean, Grand Slam or this USATF league, they're probably taking that into consideration. Like, it's tasking. You know what I mean? It's hard on their bodies. Like forming from indoor, which starts in like what, October, November. You know what I mean? And your season, ends in like, August, September. It's a lot. It takes a lot on your bodies. It takes a lot to get, those high performing athletes to get them on your roster, which actually brings out those viewers, those fans, the people that people want to see. You know what I'm saying? Even though like they had like the Grand Slam had Melissa is uh,
Sydney.
yeah,
Goat.
Sour, Paulino, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? They had like, athletes. But then it goes back to what you said, Herb, like people just, you know what I mean, just don't really know shit about the sport and don't know what they're actually watching. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if all three of us, like if we like, you know what I mean, seen any given like Saturday, seen Sydney, Paulino, and Sid. Did I just say that? Oh damn! I just doubled up. My bad. Sid, Paulino, and Saba, Eden Nasser line up. We find out they're gonna line up on a 400 on a Saturday. What we doing at 12 o'clock on a Saturday? What we doing? We
Watching.
watched that race
Yeah, we
one
watching.
or
Yeah.
another. You know what I'm saying? But from like the outside looking in, like folks don't like know how exciting that would be. You know what I'm saying? So for I think this needs to continue in one shape, form, or fashion, just so like the outsiders, you know what I'm saying, looking in, could be like the three of us, like when those three line up, you know what I'm saying, they could be just excited, just as excited as we are, to see those folks line up and whatnot. Like,
I hope it continues as well. I think we did hear recently there was new investor. I don't think they disclosed who it was who provides some money so they actually can pay a lot of the winners their purse essentially. And that was the biggest issue. Obviously, was the athletes who are winning their races weren't getting paid. So I hope it continues. I think the only fault, I agree with you, Herb. I think from the intent of it, it was a success from start to finish. There are more eyes on track now, whether they're criticizing it or giving it acclaim. It brought more eyes on track and field. Only mistake I think it made was it started too big. Now that's something that we can go back and say, can we do it differently? Maybe not, because maybe you do have to have it in front of more people for it to get criticized and get the acclaim that it's currently getting. But as all these other huge races that have grown over time, the Penn Relays, the Texas Relays, the Florida Relays, all these big track events, the Classic, the Wesleyan Classic out in Oregon, they took time for people to gravitate toward and for it to become a huge event. We actually charge large ticket prices and have a large fan base to come out to them. So that my only criticism. He could maybe started maybe not on a national broadcast, but still be able to give people money in terms of winning the races. And then at the next year, it can grow, and then you start broadcasting in a different way and hopefully get bigger contracts and more investors and so forth. But at the end of the day, I hope it continues. I hope they figure this thing out so they can continue. Because like you said from the very beginning, the athletes want this, and this is what will keep the sport afloat. Because a lot of athletes who are champions in college, like you said, you can be a national championship NCAAs, and if you're not hitting these certain marks certain times, you won't get a shoe deal, and you will be literally training all year round to try to make money, and you'll be making in some cases minimum wage. So having an avenue like this definitely helps the average athlete. And I say average in a professional sense, where you can be an average basketball player in NBA and still making millions, or average football player in NFL and still make millions. Where a track athlete, if you're average professionally, you're making $20,000-$30,000 a year, which is so unfortunate.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those sports that just you either have to be almost great at what you do, or you're going to be doing this for free. And I keep referencing the interview I had with Philip DeRosier. He was a Division II national champion.
Mm-hmm.
and he his resume was stacked, national champion and all-American. I mean, he had everything that you had, and he ran some very respectful times. And somebody like that is like you're average, when it comes to the world stage. And it sucks because there's really no money into it. Like somebody like that is not really making any type of money. So this sport is going to struggle continuously trying to have athletes pursue this as a career, because you're either going to be like what's homegirl's name who just won the was it the ethos, is that how you pronounce it, at those the 100 and the 200, what's her name, Brittany Brown. She won the 1 and 2, and now she was underrated prior to a couple seasons ago, and now she's running 21 seconds, 10 seconds in the in the 100, 21 seconds in the 200. She's earned her right to whatever paycheck that she's getting, but everybody doesn't have the patience like her, so
Right.
I mean, this a league like the Grand Slam is needed, and it needs to stay, and people just need to flat out support the league and not just, go online and say, hey, this is a good league or not. They actually need to support it. Also, the athletes who are participating need to be more of like boxers, right? They need to sell these track meets. And that's one thing I'll say about Noah. You say whatever you want to say about him, but you kind of get sucked into all the rhetoric he talks about. And Noah, he's going to show up every single championship. He's going to perform. He's going to show up. There's nothing you can say about it. But everything he says is always deemed controversial and stuff like that. And that's cool, whatever. But guess what? Anytime that you Google something about track, his name comes up.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have people in the sport need to also understand, like, hey, we need to sell ourselves in this type of sport because people don't know us like that. I think the Grand Slam League, again, is a great league and it can be sustainable. And I think it should continue for the future. People need to buy into it. It's a great league. It's a great league. I hope everybody who signed up for it signs back up for it, and we get even more people, and the investors kind of just be a little more patient and everything. I feel so bad about Michael Johnson because he took all the blame for everything, and it really wasn't his fault.
He was definitely like the fall guy.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. And piggybacking off of what you said, I don't know why track and field's not as televised as obviously it's not as popular as as football and basketball and hockey and baseball, even soccer. But I think, and I don't know why, but I think it should be televised a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Than it really is. I mean, obviously, like track and field is not year-round sport. Like no one's really like sitting around waiting for cross country. No one's really sitting around waiting for indoor track too, which sucks as a fan.
yeah.
When it comes to outdoor, at least what I mean, like these outdoor meets need to be televised. And I don't care if it's like the Drake relays or Mount Sac or something like that. Like, oh shoot, the what's the name of the relay at the track meet at Morgan?
You talking about the legacy track?
I don't care if it's the legacy. I don't think it's that. You know what I'm saying? That don't need to be televised. Like,
Yeah.
just so it could be in people's, like, you know what I'm saying, be in front of people. Just so it could be on people's minds. It could be in demand. Because there's some talent out there. There's some races to be seen. There's that like it's stuff to it's stuff to be seen. You know what I mean? Like the more and more it's actually in front of people, the more and more people are actually going to want to see it. Like I'm out here in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. Shout out to Ohio. Sorry guys, in the middle of nowhere. But like I went to work during the World Championships. I had coworkers surprise the crap out of me talking about Sidney McLaughlin. Talking about Mondo breaking his world record again
for the 20,000th time.
Yeah, like it surprised the crap out of me. So it shocked me that people out here in Ohio are actually tuned in to track and field. But it just shows you, like, if it's in front of people, people are actually going to watch it. So it needs to actually be televised. It needs to be publicized a lot more than it really is. And people are really going to get on the bandwagon and follow track and field. It just needs to be televised. I just don't know what has to happen for it to happen, you know?
Yeah, there's no perfect solution for viewership or popularity of track and field. But at the end of the day, if people don't watch it, if they don't show up, no money is going to come into it. So I think, once you fix those two things, that's what's going to happen to the sport. The Grand Slam is going to be, it's going to be successful at some point. I just don't know if it's going to be the following year or year after that. But it's going to be successful.
Yeah.
But
they're going to run it back though.
I think it's still up in the air. Michael Johnson said that he will not run it in 2026 unless everyone gets paid, and there's still some athletes who haven't get paid yet. And the investor came in. He gave an 8-figure investment. They definitely were short substantially on this last season. But I mean, I'm going with what Herb said. It's going to be successful. It'll take time. If they have to wait a year to bring it back, or it's just a couple years progression for it to get there, I think it definitely has the legs to do that.
Last thing, one random thing about
Jason. Yes.
Random thing about the World Championships. Anything random that you guys have to say about the World Championships that just happened? Anything?
Man.
Any event, athlete, whatever comes to mind.
Jason, I'm gonna let you go first. Yeah.
Random event at World Championships.
I mean, I can go if you don't want to.
Start it off, and I'll
be in the chamber.
Right.
Let me tell you something. And I wish that we kind of could have got into it earlier. The women's 400-meter dash.
You stole the.
Jesus Christ. Let me tell you something. If Sydney breaks the world record, and I'm saying this right now, if she breaks the world record in the 400-meter dash, she is the greatest women's track athlete of all time, and is not even close.
I think she already has.
Can we say just women's track and field athlete?
He's saying greatest track athlete, period?
The greatest women's track and field.
Period.
He said women. He's saying women. He said women.
I'm thinking greatest athlete, period. Track and field athlete. Period.
I mean, that's debatable, but I don't think it's even going to be remotely close. But anyways, that event was absolutely crazy. That's the only thing I've been thinking about for the last couple weeks have been that event. 778.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So that was gonna be my take. Sid the 400, not just the 47.78, but the fact that Paulino also dropped in the 48, and Nasser, like, you know what I'm saying, was close to breaking what she went 48.2, I think 48.29, something like that. That was I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but I feel like that was the top one of the fastest 400 meters. Women's 4 meters ever.
Let's be honest, and let's just cut all the crap out. That was the fastest women's 400 race of all time. We all know what happened.
Yeah,
with the East Germans and the Russians back in the 80s. We don't have to. The 400-meter dash and the 800-meter dash women's records. We already know those were doping records.
That would be my 800 meters.
We already know that.
Yeah.
I think everybody who follows this sport knows that those are the dirtiest records in sports. That's why nobody talks about it.
So I only got a 1A and 1B. So that was like 1A for me because I still watch that race like, once a week. Like Sid, man, she a dog, bro. Like she is nothing she can't do. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. My 1B is Cole Hawker win that 5,000 after being DQ'd from the 15.
Yeah,
I did not see that. I didn't have him doing it at all.
Yeah.
He shot like a dog. Like he in that dog conversation too and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
his finish
him
is
come
crazy.
around that curve, getting that straightaway. I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, it's no one that can outkick him, yeah. He got it. He got it. He just kept going, and boom, got it. You know what I'm saying? Cole Hawker in that 5,000. That's my Jakob.
Yes, Jakob. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was injured. He was injured. I followed him throughout the season, so I'll give him a small pass on that. He definitely was injured towards the end, leading up to it. But yes, he definitely dropped the ball and was nowhere to be found.
Do you think he would have won though?
He was the
It
favorite.
was Cole Hawker's day, in my opinion.
It was. I mean, everybody has their day. Yeah.
I ain't see him. I don't see Jakob. I don't see him being Cole Hawker on that day, man.
That was crazy. I mean, like I said, I can't even think of nothing else other than the 400 because that race, I think we all knew it was coming. Was the 47 seconds. I think we knew that was coming.
Well, who called it in the group chat? Someone called in the group chat. I was like, it ain't gonna happen. Yeah, you called the group chat. I was like, it ain't gonna happen. And then bam, across the finish line.
The way she was running the prelims was super easy.
Yeah.
It was too easy, like a 48, like 48, what? Like 2:48.3, something like that.
The American record. I mean, she was going to smash Sonia's record anyways.
And I think me and Jason was talking like back and forth, like, I'll give it like a 48.1.
Yeah. Maybe, that's how I was thinking.
Maybe a 48 flat, but that, no, I did not. I did not foresee that happening.
I got a small little one to.
I'm also going to add this. I think Paulino peaked.
You think so?
How old is she now? She's
Sid or Paulino?
Paulino.
I don't know. Let's look online.
I
think she's peaked.
You think she's done though?
She's not done,
but
she's not done. But I don't think we're going to see a faster Paulino. I think Sydney is different because she's the GOAT. I think she's the greatest of all time. I think she's different, right?
You might be right. She's 29.
Okay, well, that's the case.
And her birthday's on her birthday's today, actually.
And she just turned 29?
Happy birthday.
Okay, well, I'll give you that one, Herb.
I think she was pulled into that 47 from
Sid. Yeah.
And without Sydney, she's not running that at all.
She might have ran 48 flat, 48.1, maybe.
Which would have been fire.
Yeah.
I don't think she's running that without Sydney. I mean, Sydney is she's just different. And I think if Sydney's running that same race as the dirty 80s women, she would have won that too, probably.
Half man, half woman.
We all know what time it is. Nobody in track and field ever talks about it.
No.
Because they already know. It's documented. They were cheating.
Enhanced games for you right there. Bring it full circle.
They were cheating.
Yeah.
So that record don't mean nothing. Nobody recognizes the women's 400 and the women's 800 meter world records. Nobody acknowledges that as the world record, except for when they write it on the bottom of the screen when somebody's running. Nobody acknowledges that. Everybody knows what time it is. The world record right now, really, is Sydney.
It's it. Yeah.
But I'll let her actually break it in another year or so because she's gonna smash that record.
And get it, guys. She's just 26 years old.
Yeah, right. And that's a big difference in Paulino. Yeah, and I will no longer question what she can do. We'll just see it on the track. And she does, like you said, she does it with such ease. The sky's the limit for her for sure.
I don't think Sydney's going to run that much longer.
But she don't have to. She should leave.
But besides what we think, I think Sydney is a different person. She's people were acting all weird when she went to Kentucky for a year. She just wanted to experience college life for a year, right? And then she's like the model citizen. She's married. She believes in God. She does everything that you're supposed to do as an athlete. I think we're going to see her compete a few more years, and then she's going to venture off and do something else like acting or something. I honestly think that's where her calling is because she's not that type of athlete where she needs this.
I mean, she probably at some point, probably want to start a family.
Exactly. Right there with doing that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, in my mind, just me being selfish as a fan, I would like to see her run through like her 30s. Of course. Through like, 30, 32.
Yeah.
But
the selfish fan in us.
But I would also like, for her to, hey, at some point, settle down, have a kid or something like that, have a little cub. And maybe like, 28, 29, something like that. But 28, 29, that's your prime right there. And she's not, like, think about it. She's not in her prime yet.
Yeah.
That is a scary thought for every female.
I think when it's all said and done, she was already close, but she's going to be a sub 11 100-meter dash runner.
Oof.
She's going to be a sub 22 200-meter runner. I think she's going to, just because now the 300-meter is now an official record event now. She's going to run the 300-meter hurdles, I think, just for fun. She's probably going to smash that record. She has the 400-meter hurdle record already multiple times. The 400, she's already gone 47.78. She's probably going to break the world record. There's nothing that this woman is not going to be able to do. And I think when it all is said and done, nobody's going to have a resume like her at all. And if you think about it, like think about the 400-meter hurdles. Femke Bol is one of the greatest track runners that we've ever seen.
Yep.
And she can't beat Sydney. Think about that for a second. One of the fastest ever recorded cannot beat a certain person
in history.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah. Like I said about Tyson Gay early on. One of the fastest 100-meter runners we've ever seen, like, to grace the track. His best was not good enough. That's Femke Bol. It has to suck to be in that position. Like
he ran at the wrong time.
I mean, yeah.
It's to suck to be in that position. Like, I did all that I could do, and I PR'd. I set my country record, crushed it, and I'm great, and I know it, and everyone else knows it. I am not it. Because that person keeps beating my ass on a weekly basis.
Femke running the 800, by the way, now.
Yes, we're going up to that.
Yeah.
I thought about that too. Like, what if could Sid possibly?
Sydney can do whatever she wants to do.
Exactly. You just said it.
I'm just saying, like, y'all think maybe she could be successful in that?
I mean, if she puts her mind to it, why should we not believe she's going to be successful? I mean, now, am I going to say that she's going to be one of the front runners to get a go? I'm not sure about that, but I think she can run sub 2 minutes for sure. But I'm not sure. I wouldn't put her on a pedestal with winning the gold at a world championship or Olympics or whatever. But I think she can probably run 159 for sure.
Did you?
Is there anything else random? One last thing random at the championships.
Did you think that Tebogo wouldn't medal?
Absolutely not. I thought he was a lock for the 200. I thought he was a lock for 200.
Yeah,
that was a tough one for me too. And then go ahead, Daryl.
No, go ahead.
I'll say the last thing for me will be Sha'Carri. Where do you think she's at, and what's going to happen to her moving forward? Because on our very first podcast, Herb gave her resume and swore she was going to take over the world. And now she's
it's a mental sport too.
It definitely is. I mean, she was going through a lot. I mean, she had a little fight in the airport with her boyfriend.
It was all self-inflicted. I'm not getting no pass for that. No, heck no. She did that, and no. The off the track stuff, she should know better. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have been probably shouldn't have had too many cocktails at the airport at the airport bar by your gate. And shouldn't went to that man's phone or whatever. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But I don't know. I don't know what happened to her this season. She definitely, as we all know, she definitely was not like peak Sha'Carri, as she would correctly say, this season. Again, I said it on our last pod. Like, I feel like a disappointed dad once again because I want to see her like on the medal stand every time she performs on the world stage. Just because I know what she's what her potential is. You know what I'm saying? I know what she can do. Like
Sha'Carri and peak Melissa on a 4x1. What?
Bruh? That 10.65? Like, come on now. Like,
crazy.
Oh, come on now.
And Melissa's gonna get faster.
She's only gonna get faster.
Now that's scary to think about. That's scary.
Yeah, she's young. she is young. That is very scary for real. Like, I can only pray that like Sha'Carri, whatever's going on in her personal life or whatever's going on in her professional like track and field life, she gets it together. Get the pieces, put them back together, and get back to the Sha'Carri that we would like to see, and that we know that she can actually be. Because man, she's fire when she's 100%. We all know that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And one of the best to actually ever do it at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? Not seeing her being her 100% self this season, didn't like it. Seeing her get like walked down a little bit, but still holding off the Jamaicans on the 4x1.
Yeah.
Didn't like it, but like to see it. I like that, she held them off and got the gold. I just want to see her come back and just you know, just quiet down the haters. You know what I'm saying? Shut down the doubters and get on that pedal, not pedestal, but get on that podium. You know what I mean?
What year is what year is the Olympics?
That is
20.
Damn, we burnt. What was it? 2020? What? 2028?
Can't Google fast enough.
LA Olympics.
Yeah, I know it's in LA.
Yeah, 2028. It's
2028. Man, it's a lot of time in between. It's only 2025 right now.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff happening between now and then.
And a lot of athletes that we're not going to see there, and a lot of new athletes.
Yes, new faces.
Yeah,
But,
it's gonna be some college faces in that jump. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Gout. He might. You know what I mean?
You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. And the last thing, anything that you guys looking forward for next year and the next track season? I know for me, we've already touched on it. I want to see the Grand Slam League come back.
Definitely.
And I would like to see how the USA responds to, they've had success in the relays. I kind of want to see them, how they respond to the success they had in these current the current championship they just had from all the failures, how they push forward into kind of improving the relay program here. So it's a lot of stuff I want to see, man. I want to see Melissa, how she performs next year. It's a lot of things I want to see going into this next season.
I'm a distance guy. USA has shown a lot of success in the 15 and the 5K. So I look forward to seeing more success with that. Have a presence in the finals. There were some years us coming up, even the 800, it was rare to see the USA make it to the finals on the grand stage.
Mm-hmm.
So that indoor and outdoor, there's no major championship this next year. So things will probably be on the slower side in terms of times. But I do want to see Quincy make some moves. He was kind of, I think he fell on the downslide this year. But he's about to be a senior, right? This upcoming, senior this year. So this will be his last high school beat. He has but like one main person that he goes back and forth with. So see that success.
Hopefully y'all come to Penn Relays with your boy.
Let's make it happen. Last
Last time we
went as a group, it was the three of us, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
I think Adam was there too.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, man, but
I went and didn't even show up to the track meeting.
It's a whole another thing. But anyways, anybody got
my take? I do agree with Jason. I do want to see Quincy continue to progress. I want to see him stay consistent and he went his PR 44.2?
No, 44.10.
Oh yeah, 44.1. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're right.
Pardon the shit of my goddamn French, but 4:10. Okay. All right. I want to see him continue to progress and possibly break that 44 barrier, which is freaking crazy
to think about.
I want to see Sid break the world record in the 4, and I want to see my man Donovan Brazier. You know what I'm saying?
Forgot all about this guy.
He did make
I want to see my man Donovan Brazier.
He did make his comeback.
Yes, and he came up short a little bit, but I want to see my man Donovan Brazier, you know what I mean, getting another medal around his neck, because man, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Donovan Brazier, bro.
Absolutely,
it's hard not to be. Hard not to be.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Cuz. I want to see him back on the medal stand, yo.
Yeah, we. It's a lot of stuff that we want to see and everything, but we'll get into everything else. Hopefully, we can get back on the pod in another week or so and talk about some other subjects. But like we always say, every race has a story and every runner has a journey. Thanks for watching.